This Godot plugin could seriously change game development forever, not as something made to replace humans, but as a tool built to work with you side by side. We're going to use Ziva, an AI Godot plugin, to build a 2D platformer with a level selection menu, and I'll show you how quickly you can go from a simple concept to something playable and well structured. Let's get started. Now, to start off, you will have to go to their website and sign in, and then click on download. In this case, I will go with the manual download, and here you will select your platform. I like to download it this way because this will just give you a zip file that you can extract, and inside of this folder you will just find the usual add-ons folder and the actual add-on. So in this case, I'm in a brand new project, so I'm gonna also drop the plugin with the add-ons folder. But if you already have an add-ons folder, because it's a project that you have already created, okay, of course you will not import it with the add-ons folder, just the Ziva agent folder. And well, as soon as you do it, okay, this new tab is going to appear, and here on the settings, the first thing that you have to validate is that, well, that you are logged in correctly. And an option that I really recommend that you turn on is agent mode, because if not, Ziva is all the time gonna be asking you to allow different actions, okay, but if we actually want it to work on its own without us having to give it permission to different things, agent mode is actually a very good choice. Then here in the bottom, you can select the different model. As you can see, we have literally every single model that you would want, such as any of the Claude models, as well as Codex models, or even Gemini. So another question may be, okay, why don't I just use Claude, for example, or Codex or Gemini? Well, because here you are just paying for one subscription and you are accessing all AI tools. You have them right inside of the code editor, so you don't have to use in any kind of external application or code editor. And also because Ziva itself has more than 50 integrations with Godot itself. So you will see that the quality that you can get out of these models is way better. And let's actually pause a second there, okay, and you'll actually see it in action. But you will see that it's able to build complex node trees, complex scenes, okay, and it's not just gonna be creating one game manager script with all the information, and it's gonna be creating all the nodes via script. It will actually add the nodes here as you would manually do it, okay, because sometimes these AI tools on their own don't have the best Godot integration, and that's why they have to do everything via code. So what I'm gonna be using right now is a Claude model, specifically this one that is the most efficient, okay. Of course, it's the one that will require the most amount of credits and all that, but you know, I'm just gonna give it a very simple prompt, like 2D platformer with a level selection menu. So I do need a very complex model for this task, because it's gonna be like the initial task, creating the game itself, okay. Then maybe, okay, if we want to save some credits, we can choose a cheaper model, okay, but well, at least for the initial game we have to have a solid base, and that's why I'm gonna be using this model in specific. And as Ziva is working, it's gonna tell you, okay, the different tasks that are getting completed. Amazing, okay, literally it's organized everything. We have the 3 different levels, okay, and something that is very amazing is that it, for example, use the TileMapLayer and actually created so the different tiles, okay, and it drew the level, okay, without us having to worry about it. So I'm just gonna press play and see what happens. Okay, so we have pixel platform, we have play, quit. So let's press play. We have the level selection menu. I understand it's maybe not 100% center, but still is there. So let's go to level 1. Okay, and it seems that there is a problem with the collision, but we do have a logic to load in levels. So in this case, if at any time this pop-up it happens, just reload from disk, and it seems that we have a few errors. So I will just tell the AI that there are a few errors, and while that is working, I wanted to explain this. It's amazing how the integration with Godot works, because we have the level selection menu, then this scene is gonna load in the next one, okay, which is the main menu, okay, then level select, and then that is gonna load the level, okay, that we end up selecting. And it seems that, well, we have a ground, we have like some platforms, we even have some coins, some enemies, coins, the flag, okay. It's very, very amazing, like everything that it has built. I believe there is no AI tool that can actually draw using the TileMapLayer, or at least doing it like that. Like this would perfectly be like normal levels that I would personally create as a game developer. So that's something very, very crazy. And you can see how the logic is perfectly split between different scripts. We have camera script, coin, game manager, gold flag, UI, level select, player, spike. So it's very easy to go over here in the code, understand what each part does. You can see it doesn't seem that there is any kind of spaghetti code or super weird code. So now it's telling me that the project should run smoothly. So let's check it out. We can play, we can go back to the menu, play, level 1. Okay, so now we have no errors, but there is no collision between the player and the ground, which is a pity. Let's reload it from disk. But I just think it's because the tiles have no collision set up. And okay, here we have it. So we have the player even with animations. We can jump, we can collect the different coins. So there's a problem with, for example, the jump height, but because everything is super well organized, it's very simple to understand that well. Here is the player scene, and here we should have a variable that determines the jump force. So let's make it a little bit bigger, maybe minus 800, and now we should be able to jump way higher. So there we have it. Okay, and we can complete this level. Okay, and now we are back here, and we can go ahead and select level 2. So it seems that we have the same problem. So now here we are. Okay, I just added the corresponding collision to the TileMapLayer. It seems that we have some enemies, so let's see what happens. Okay, yes, when I collect with them, basically the level gets reset, so that's cool. Let's collect these different coins. Okay, and let's complete it. Perfect. And now we can jump to level 3. Okay, and once again, I already have all the systems that I could go ahead and create my own 2D platform. So that's very, very cool. Okay, there we go. I think there is like that weird camera lag because the camera is moving in process and the player is moving probably in physics process. Yes. So the camera should also be moving on the physics process cycle. So that should fix the error. Once again, because the code is so clean, I can easily identify where to find each thing. And as you can see here, I was able to 100% fix that. And let's say that, for example, well, I don't like the camera zoom because it's way too much. So what I could do is take a look at the camera. It seems that the camera is just a copy. Okay, so it's not a scene. Therefore, what I'm gonna do is maybe modify the zoom via code here. So now as you can see, it's gonna be a little bit closer to the player, and you really understand the idea. With very small modifications, I can actually make the game way better because I already have a very solid base, a very organized base. Okay, so that's actually something very, very good. So once again, the integration that Ziva has with Godot is just amazing because, for example, it has been able to generate sprite frames inside of an animated sprite. So of course, there are a lot of tools that can give you animated sprites, but I believe Ziva is the only one that can actually set up these frames for you. Of course, maybe they are not 100% perfect, like this run animation has some problems, okay, and they are not 100% consistent between each other, but still, okay, you have at least half of the way done here. You already have the animation states and you have the logic over here. If we look for animated sprites, you have the logic, okay, to change the animation. So it's just a matter of generating the sprites again, okay, and as the logic is already here, as you can see, it's gonna be way faster, okay. So that is one integration. The other one was basically, I believe the most important one, organizing the hierarchy efficiently and organizing the code also efficiently. So I can probably just read this code, understand 100% what it's doing. As you can see, it doesn't look messy, disorganized, or anything like that. And also the fact that it was able to use tile maps, okay, was also something very, very amazing. Basically, creating levels for us, putting the tiles manually, putting the coins, the enemies, the flag, just amazing, okay? So this is Ziva, okay? And well, if you wanna start trying it out, you will have a link in the description down below. And before we say goodbye, okay, here you have their pricing. So for example, the basic plan is basically the cost of any of the AI models that we have been using, for example, Claude, ChatGPT, okay, but here you have, for just one subscription, access to all these tools, okay? So that is all I wanted to cover in this video, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.